Hey guys, welcome back to Busted to Built. Today we're working on the turbo truck and we've been putting some miles on her so far, but I broke it. And so we'll get into what I did there, but for now let's see what I've been doing with it. So follow along as we buckle up and go to a couple car shows with this old girl. We're in the turbo truck, headed off to a car show. Cars and coffee. Crawlers and coffee. So I'm not bringing my crawler today. This is like 2.5 hours away from home. So I have 5 hours of towing the Tahoe. And I really missed driving this truck this summer. So we're doing the maiden voyage with the old auto transitor now. And see how she does. We got, like I say, probably 5 hours on the road to do this today for 2 hours of show. But it'll totally be worth it in this truck. She's just running like a top. Loving this auto. Just listen to this baby. First destination here. We met up with Dan. Build it, we'll explore it. And we're going to do a convoy here. Going to meet up with Brad and Kenzie from Riding Shotgun Adventures. So far we've made it about an hour and a half into our adventure here. Turbo truck's running fabulous. So we've done a couple pulls on the old expressway there, just had some fun, and everything held together. So I think we're going to be all right, and just going to see what happens from here. Dan's throwing in a few gallons here. Meanwhile, we're bumping. Here in the concrete jungle now. Looking for Riding Shotgun Adventures. Brad and Mackenzie. Gotta admire this idle. Oh man, you guys, Megan, give the people what they want. Hey guys, we're back from the car show yesterday. We made it down to Plymouth and back in this outfit, this handcrafted Frankenstein of an outfit. I finally got down way away from home and made her back without having to break out any wrenches or anything weird, and it was all successful. So anyways, didn't video much of this show. It was exclusively Jeeps pretty much over there, so not that we weren't welcome, but we weren't anything nobody was checking out over there, so that's not a big deal. We were just happy to go down there and hang out a little bit and put some miles on the truck, but just gotta go and just listen to this thing, man. So fresh with the tranny in here. So much of my noise was coming just from my transmission. This thing sounds so clean now. What do you think, Mrs. Busted? So anyways, we're just driving around. I'm over here just hanging out with my brother today, but anyways, just thought I'd give you a little update. Just sitting here, she's just eloping away, and it just feels good to be putting some miles on. So had some small success with the Tahoe, but trying to get some miles on this feels really good. So hopefully we're going to be out with this more and more. West side of the state this morning. Gonna do the rigs and coffee over with everybody over there. So nothing over here really today, but we're gonna make a trip in the turbo truck. Me, Ramo, Megan, and we're we're gonna go see what's happening over there. So anyways, should be quite a few things to check out and some people to catch up with that we haven't, but we're starting off the morning here. The local Tim Hortons line. I'm kind of out of place and probably kind of making this line a little stinky, but we're gonna get this coffee.
Good morning, 1310. Large sweet cream, just went in a snack crab.
Thank you.
Alright, there's that for you. You guys have a great day.
You too, thank you.
Secured the goods. Not clear. Clear. Good size comparison there.
Ready?
Let's do it. just leaving Riggs and Coffee here. It was a hell of a turnout. I'd say we got about half the people here that were here before, but it ended like 15-20 minutes ago, so we're all wrapped up and taking off. So saw a bunch of people and had a good time, and now we're gonna head back across the state and see if we make it in one piece or not. Yeah, so we ended up taking this thing down to a Crawlers and Coffee at Steer Smarts, and that was in Plymouth. Maiden voyage for this thing. Say first drive with the Auto Trans that far, and that was the farthest it's been under its own power anywhere. So happy it made it there and back. And then just yesterday went over to Hudsonville, Michigan, west side of the state here in Michigan, and ended up going to Riggs and Coffee, which is more of like a it is off-road, but it's more overlandy type stuff. But it's just for anybody and everybody to come mingle, you know, just share your experience and your stuff and your hobbies. So anyways, we had a good time with that. We made it back in one piece, but let me show you what I got going on with it. So I've been fighting with this thing, trying to get a computer to work everything. My original computer for this truck was a 4.8. It was a flex fuel, but I couldn't go ahead and segment swap it for a 4L80. So then I had to get a different computer. So then I went and got a different computer. Everything worked fine, except it was an 04, and the charging system is different. So I can't get my charge indicator to go out. So then I got another computer from an 06 Chevy. And that one was one that had an operating system that I was able to go through, segment swap the 4L80, change over to a 2-bar operating system. Everything worked. The charging system works. All of a sudden, code for the transmission, P0748, which is just the pressure regulator. This is a solenoid, but this operates the pressure, the line pressure of the transmission. It's pressure control solenoid, it's PC. So anyways, I was setting a code for that, so it just wasn't working. So you're basically default max pressure whenever that happens. So this thing has just been shifting like a bear. And so anyways, we did some diag on it. Just ohmed out right here on my external harness. Had 4.5 ohms. I've got a good transmission in the garage. So I've just checked that one. That was 4.5. So that was all the same. Tried to energize the solenoid. And I could energize it if I went... You know, it's just a 2-wire, so you can go either way as far as positive or ground. But when I'd energize it one way, it worked fine. Switch the polarity. Oh, geez. Alright, we just got interrupted by a spammer. Sorry about that. So anyways, but yeah. Polarity one way, solenoid works fine. Flip the polarity. All of a sudden, I'm shorting out my power probe. It's just tripping the circuit breaker every time. First thing in my head is, there's these 2 tangs over here, I knew. And I was like, man, I wonder if when I put this harness on, if I bent these out, and this one way or the other is hitting on the pan. That would really make a lot of sense. I'm sure that's what it is. Rip the pan off of here. Nope. Everything was fine right there. But I'm looking and it's like, well, this loom right here is kind of crushed. Let's follow it back, and I had it sitting up here in its little bracket. And again, kind of crushed looking. That blue wire right there. Pinched it. So when my filter's here and you put the pan on and sandwich everything up, that wire right there got pinched on that bolt head. So I'm going to run this like on the outside of that little bracket or something, do something different so that way it's not getting pinched. But we figured it out, finally. That's like 6-month problem trying to think with this. And I haven't been in here like working on it for 6 months. Like I've just been procrastinating for 6 months because I just hate these things when they get to be involved and everything's custom. So it's like, it's not like there's a resource I can go to sometimes. This was obvious. You could follow factory repair information for this, but a lot of times that's not the rabbit hole I get sucked down. So let's get this thing figured out and fixed here now. I'm not going to do anything with this other than just patch it up. It sits in fluid, so it's not like it's going to corrode. Eventually the fluid will push through this wire and it'll start coming out of this connector, but cross that bridge when we get to it. It's got a little while. Thanks for joining us this evening, guys. Got Humpty Dumpty back together again. We're out driving it. Everything's working correctly, except for you can tell my dash is not exactly OEM equipment here. Very custom. Still gonna work on that. But otherwise, little tuning to do, but the transmission is dialed. Let's go for a ripski. Hey guys, thanks for following along with the shenanigans. We got this thing fixed up here. And let me actually show you what was going on with this transmission. And so here we are. We're looking up at the pan. Wiring harness comes in over here in the side. Wraps around. A few various sensors and solenoids that it plugs into about here. Comes around here. Comes up here. And around. Pressure control solenoid lives over here. So when I got my new filter, I thought my filter was actually pressing that wiring harness up into the valve body and crushing it. The filter didn't come anywhere near it when I got my new filter on. What actually was the deal was, if you can again follow this wiring harness this way, right here at the drain plug, when you screw the drain plug up in here, there's like a 1 in 1 million chance that that harness will get pinched between the top of your drain plug bolt and a valve cover or a valve body bolt. And that's what happened, was I just pinched it when I put the pan on and put the drain plug back in it. The harness was right above it and just pinched it. Just the goofiest of goofy things. So now I've got the harness coming further out. It's actually more on the outside here, the drain plug, and took care of that. Jeez, oh Pete's, what a mess.